Good morning, everybody. This is C-Jack Podcast, and we're going to do things a little bit differently today. I got a special guest on here with me. His name is Mac.
Hey, yo.
So we're going to talk about a few things here. Of course, we're going to cover WWE as always, and we're going to get into UFC, and I'm going to give you guys a special match to watch over the next week. So anyway, how's it going today, Mac?
It is going terrific, man. It's my last day on the job. I am thrilled. How are you doing, CJ?
Oh, I am doing terrific. Amped up, ready to do this podcast. Excited to have you on here. It's been a long time coming.
Man, yeah. I'm very honored to be your special guest. I think we're going to talk about some good stuff today.
Very first guest, too. I mean, I'm thrilled to have you as the first guest.
Oh, man. That means a lot. It means a lot. All right, let's get into this thing, man.
So, we're going to go ahead and start off with some WWE talk.
Oh, yeah.
What do you really think about the whole Seth Rollins facing people like Dolph Ziggler and Raw, and then facing Jimmy Uso on SmackDown, facing different people? Do you think that's a good idea for WWE Creative?
Yeah, I do. I like it, but I don't like it because at the same time, you want a fighting champion, but he's not fighting for the championship. But yeah, it's good giving the guys who really don't get time to shine an opportunity to be on TV with champion. And I think the match with Ziggler was incredible. It was like watching two Shawn Michaels like in the ring together. It was incredible. But again, they jobbed Dolph. So it's like, what do you expect, though?
Right. But, I mean, I'm glad they're finally giving some guys some chances in that limelight in the championship picture. I mean, Seth Rollins is going to go on to face Dean Ambrose at Battleground along with Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. And Rollins is that champion that never lost his championship, so hopefully he can reclaim it.
Hopefully Reigns can reclaim the championship?
Seth Rollins.
Ooh. Oh, Seth Rollins. Oh, good. I'm like, oh, no, not Reigns. Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. Apparently, I've been hearing through the grapevine that backstage, WWE is not too happy with Dean Ambrose. They don't think he's much of a draw, and I hear he's kind of angry at the people backstage as well.
Really?
Oh, yes.
See, that's the first time I ever heard that.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard this for like a week now, and they're not happy at all. So I think it might be a change of the championship. I don't see it happening in this pay-per-view, but maybe around SummerSlam, depending how the ratings go.
You can always expect for big things to happen around SummerSlam.
Oh, that's true. That is very true. Very, very true. And ironic, wasn't it last year that Rollins and Ambrose faced off at SummerSlam?
I believe so.
How ironic. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about Ambrose's reign right now?
I mean, he's always been kind of one of those guys that's gone out there every night. He's pretty good talent. I would like to see him lay in his stuff a little bit more because you can tell when he does his punches and stuff. I mean, we all know it's choreographed and everything, but he needs to lay in his stuff a little bit more. He'll be like a mile away on a lot of his hits and stuff.
So his work rate ain't really that up to par.
Yeah, because...
You think he should be champion?
I mean, he deserves it, but I think he's got a lot of work to prove before he gets a main championship like that. Maybe make him United States champion or something, but I don't believe that he really has earned the WWE championship as far as his in-ring skills. Because I went up to see him back in March in Moline. He fought Kevin Owens in that match, and that was one of the most fake matches I've ever seen. I mean, he just didn't lay anything in. He was a mile off on all the connections. We want to be entertained when we watch this stuff.
I think, don't get me wrong, I am a Dean Ambrose fan. However, like you said, his work is not up to par. When you're talking about great workers, you have to start off with Seth Rollins. And I think he needs to have the title and carry it until you have a guy like, until maybe he'll turn face and he can have a match with the guys I want him to fight, which is AJ Styles or Kevin Owens.
Exactly.
I think that would be huge for actually like just the wrestling community, and not push guys like Reigns and these bodybuilders and all these type of guys that McMahon loves.
Yeah, I firmly believe Rollins is a great talent. He's a great in-ring technician. He's not only good at different holds and working in the ring, he's a great high flyer. He's just pretty much very well-rounded worker as far as that goes at all. He's not really one class, if you will. He's a technician. He could be a submissionist if he really wanted to be. He could be the high flyer. He really is the architect, like he says.
Yeah. I think he's the modern day Shawn Michaels, just like a little bit version. That's my opinion. But I believe Shawn Michaels is like one of the greatest of all time. But what do you think Dolph Ziggler? Where do you think he goes from here?
See, that's the thing is, Dolph Ziggler really, he gets pushes, but he's never really been completely 100% over. He's been over, but not fully over, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got the potential, and you can tell every night when he goes out there, he's loving what he's doing. And I enjoy seeing somebody go out there and just love what they're doing and having fun out there. But they need to really separate the whole him and Shawn Michaels character.
I agree, because it seems like every week he's becoming more and more like Shawn Michaels. He's like literally wearing Shawn Michaels' ring gear, but instead of hearts, he puts skulls. It's like this guy is like, it's one thing to pay homage to Shawn Michaels, but it's another thing to like actually turn into Shawn Michaels. But he's more of the jabroni version of Shawn Michaels, because it seems like McMahon is going to job him and he's going to be mid-card for life.
Yeah, that's something that I feel bad saying about him, is that comparing him to Shawn Michaels, because you know he gets that all the time, but when the comparisons are there, we're going to make them.
He was the comparison to Shawn Michaels. The guy literally changed his whole attire to Shawn Michaels' ring gear. You remember he used to wear the little shorts or whatever, then he changed it, then he got the longer pants or whatever that he's wearing that Shawn Michaels wear. Then he got Shawn Michaels' boots. Then he changed the pants to like the actual design that Shawn Michaels had. And it's like, then he does the super kick. This guy literally wants to be Shawn Michaels. It's one thing to take a few big moves from Shawn Michaels, but he literally wants to be Shawn Michaels. I think Seth Rollins, he more pays homage to Shawn Michaels. Dolph Ziggler wants to be Shawn Michaels.
And that's just, you're not going to be Shawn Michaels. There's only one Shawn Michaels.
Exactly.
Just
Shawn
like
Michaels
somebody trying to imitate Austin. There's only one Austin.
Thank you. And Dean Ambrose is not the next Steve Austin. Everybody needs to cut that out. He's not. Let it go.
No, and see, Dean Ambrose, he's just kind of his own person, and you can tell that that's who he's really trying to be, is his own character.
I agree. Definitely.
But anyway, enough about that match. What did you think about the 16-man tag match that they decided to have as their main event, which I didn't really agree with. I think the match we were just talking about should have been the main event, but anyway, not on the creative, so I have no control over that.
Yeah, what I think about that match?
Yeah, what'd you think about it?
Trash. Trash, not worth it. it's not even worth my time mentioning. It was just a 4th of July, like, match that means absolutely nothing. It didn't advance any type of storyline. It didn't do anything. It's pretty much thumbs down in my book, but I'll love to hear your opinion.
I mean, it was entertaining in spots, I'll give it that. But whenever you try to put heels and faces on the same side and just try to make kind of race warfare, if you will, not, I wouldn't really say race warfare, but country warfare was more. It would be more like the term, because they were having all these American superstars versus this multicultural team, which included some Canadians, of course, Cesaro, who's Swiss, and a Mexican. You just had this multicultural team versus USA. I really think that it was just kind of one of those old topics that they really should have just went ahead and threw out at the books.
Completely agree. And matter of fact, I think that's enough of that one. Moving on. I'm not going to waste my time with that match.
100% agree on that. What do you really think about the New Day right now in their direction?
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. What do I think about the New Day? In general, or with their feud with the Wyatts? I can give you both.
Why don't we go ahead and do just in general on how you think they are as far as a tag team and how over they really are, and then we'll go ahead and get into their current rivalry with the Wyatts.
Okay, cool. Okay, as far as the New Day, I think they're over. However, it's getting played out. It's getting stale. I think it's showing. I think people are realizing they're doing the same thing. I mean, it's funny. However, it's the same gimmick over and over. I truly believe they're going to break them up pretty soon. It's looking like it. But I don't know. Let's think. And besides, it's perfect timing to break them up because the draft is coming up. So I think they are going to break them up.
Absolutely, the draft is coming up, and of course, without being able to forget about that, I mean, WWE's basically been shoving it in our face for the past 2 months on everything you watch relating WWE. Brand split coming up Tuesday nights is going to be SmackDown.
Exactly. So what do you think about that New Day? How do you think their whole thing's going?
Well, I personally like the New Day. I think all 3 competitors are pretty good athletes, and they are pretty good talents as far as their in-ring competitorship is concerned. And they do really make a good team. But I agree with you, their stuff's getting stale. I mean, yeah, it's good for the kids for a little while, but I think even right now the kids are starting to get bored with them because they're just starting to do the same stuff every night. And like you said, I agree that they're getting ready to start breaking them up. It might just be kind of one of those bumps that they're trying to create drama with. But with what we can see with Xavier Woods right now, it seems like he's getting kind of caught in the trance of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. What do you think they take that? You think he joined the Wyatts, or how does this work out?
See, that's something I haven't really quite made a conclusion on yet, is whether they're going to actually have Xavier Woods try to join the Wyatts, or if he's just going to be caught in a trance during a match and end up turning on his New Day brethren. I'm not really sure on exactly how that's going to turn out.
Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. So you do agree that they're going to break them up. How do you see each member faring in like the future?
Well, without a doubt, I completely see Big E having a phenomenal singles career. I mean, he's got the great big guy look, and he's a powerhouse. So without a doubt, I believe he's going to go very far.
Absolutely.
Kofi Kingston, he's a pretty good worker too, and he had his own singles career there for a while. But I'm not really sure if he's really wanting to go back to his singles career, considering he's doing a really good job at being a tag team worker. So I don't know if they'll try to put him with another tag team or if he will go back to singles. I mean, he could. He's got the potential. But as far as Xavier Woods goes, I would say make him a manager. He's good at some in-ring work, but he's a lot better cheerleader manager type.
Truly. Definitely agree. Agree on all accounts. Definitely.
And I mean, all three of them have some pretty good mic skills, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But like I said, Kofi and Big E, without a doubt, they could still go on to have either singles or join other tag teams. It doesn't really matter. I feel Big E will definitely have a singles career. Not quite sure what they'd do with Kofi, but without a doubt, I would firmly believe that Xavier should do manager material or something along those lines.
I agree. You know, I think it would be cool to, I don't know, I would love to see Shinsuke Nakamura with either Paul Heyman or Xavier Woods as his manager. Because he's not that great with English. But if you have a great mouthpiece in his character, I think that would be phenomenal. That's just another topic.
I think that would be a pretty good idea. Although I'm kind of curious on with the way he gets caught in Wyatt's trance, on if they might actually end up either breaking up the Wyatt family and have Xavier as his manager, or have Xavier become the manager of the Wyatt family.
That's definitely interesting. But then again, would that cause issues because Bray is the leader and the mouthpiece? Would it be too many chefs in the kitchen?
That's a possibility that we may find out. They may try it out and realize it doesn't go over very well, considering, like you said, the manager is supposed to be the mouthpiece for the team.
Absolutely.
And Bray just has amazing mic skills already. He doesn't need a manager in order to be over because he's already over.
Yeah, truly. Truly, over like over.
So, as we were talking about the brand split, where do you see the WWE taking that brand split into the directions?
Ooh, that's a really great question that I don't even know if WWE knows. But as I'm thinking, dude, I really don't even know. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great for business, but I really don't know. I do know that Cena and Reigns, they're going to be the guys for each respective brand. I believe Cena's going to SmackDown, and he's going to feud with AJ Styles on SmackDown and bring credibility back to SmackDown. Reigns will be on Raw. He'll be the guy. And from there on, I really don't even know. I do think that they're going to have some cool stuff, and some former superstars come back and just bring a whole lot of excitement. I can't. I really don't even know what direction that or anything that they may do. I know they're going to have another strap. I heard that the new SmackDown titles will look like the exact title, except for the red check mark or whatever under the little WWE logo is going to be blue. For SmackDown, the new SmackDown title. I like that. However, me personally, I kind of wanted to go back to the old winged eagle belt, the one that Hogan first had. Then it ended with Austin back in WrestleMania 14 with Shawn Michaels. I wish they would go back to that belt. That's just me. I'm old school, but I would love to hear your opinion on the brand split.
Oh, I'm with you. I don't really think the WWE really knows exactly where they're going as far as the brand split's considered. Whatever they do as far as championships considered on SmackDown, I just don't want it to turn out like it was last time. The WWE Championship is always going to be the championship, but the whoever had that world heavyweight championship was basically second best. I really would like to see the fact that whoever holds the championship on SmackDown is the equal of the WWE championship on Raw. I don't really want to see second runner up or anything like that. And I feel like that comparison's always going to be made. So maybe they might have to do something in their storyline to try to make it to where they can try to counteract that somehow. But I just really would like to see the credibility brought back to a championship on the SmackDown show.
I agree. That's why I think it starts with the actual title. They need to go back to the old winning Eagle belt that, like, how many champions held? Bret Hart held it. Hogan held it. Rock didn't hold it. Austin held it. Shawn Michaels held it. Like, all these guys, Kevin Nash, all these guys, Undertaker, held the winged Eagle belt. They got to go back to that. It's already like a credible. Don't go back to the World Heavyweight Championship. They already made that belt like worth nothing. Go back to the old WWF belt. That was already your real championship. Have that as the SmackDown title. Give it to but don't give it to Cena, even though I'm sure they will. They'll pass Ric Flair. But I don't know. But the title has to be equal. It has to be equal. What do you think about? No, I'll save that for later because we're coming up to that. It's not right now.
But do you think that as far as WWE is concerned, that if Cena does get the championship for SmackDown, that they will say he tied Ric Flair, or do you think that they'll just say it's a different championship totally and count it at that?
You know, that's interesting. I think they'll count it nonetheless because they counted Cena's World Heavyweight title win as a World Championship. So I think like when he was on SmackDown, like a couple years ago, against Big Show and all that. Yeah, I think they would count it. You know, they'll do anything for John.
Well, yeah, you can definitely tell that by watching the program every week. Where do you think they're going to go as far as who's going to be running SmackDown? This is a very interesting concept because we've seen almost every single old SmackDown GM throughout the past weeks on Raw, and this last week, Vicky Guerrero made her return.
Yeah.
So where do you really think that they're going to be going as far as who's going to be in control?
None of the former GMs. None of them. But I do see, I believe they'll have Mick Foley come back. I'm not sure if Mick Foley was the actual SmackDown GM. I'm not sure if he was or not.
I believe he was for a short period of time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're going to have him come back, and I'm hoping, just me, I don't know why, I hope they bring back Eric Bischoff. That's just me. But I don't think they're going to be running the show. I think ultimately it's going to come down to Stephanie will run, I don't know. I think Shane may run SmackDown.
I agree with that because they're going to want to bring viewers to SmackDown, and Shane brings viewers since he's a face right now.
Exactly. You're reading my mind. That's just Shane sticks around, too. I didn't think he would just stick around as long, but I'm happy he did. Hopefully he played like a bigger role and just play a bigger role. We'll see, though.
Yeah, we will definitely see. It's interesting you said none of the old GMs. You didn't think Teddy Long did a very good job when he ran SmackDown?
No. No, I mean, I don't know. It was just too corny for me. I don't know. It was all right, but it's like, I don't know. Teddy Long, he's a good guy, but I don't know. What do you think?
I thought he was fair. I mean, that's one thing I could always say about Teddy is no matter what, he at least played it fair.
That's true. But you need controversy.
That's true.
That's why I would want Bischoff, like, because I don't want to. I know we had the authority or whatever for like 3 years now, but like we need a guy or whatever who's like not the authority. But I want some. You know what I want to see? I want to see authority figures screw over John Cena. I want them to bring back Eric Bischoff to screw over John Cena and give AJ Styles the title.
That's an interesting concept.
I want to like switch it because you know how Austin was like the tweener, not the good guy, not the bad guy, but he was going against McMahon. Why not do it to the ultimate face? And, like that way, he can like kind of bring people back on John Cena's side, give incredible heat to AJ and the Bischoff, gives AJ Styles like this like mega push that he deserves. That's just it.
That is a very good concept. I also had another concept of, well, since we've been seeing all these ex-GMs returning on Raw, maybe that they might do kind of, each night for the first few weeks, one of the old GMs might run Raw for a night.
That'd be nice.
They might do that. That would be kind of a nice change of pace to see for a little bit.
I would love to watch that.
I mean, I think one of the good eras for Raw was when they did all the guest hosting from celebrities. I thought that was pretty interesting when they did that for a little while.
Yeah, that was good. But then we had the GM with the little laptop and everything, and all that crap. It turned out to be Hornswoggle.
Yeah, that got pretty ugly there for a while.
yeah. But yeah, that was cool because they brought all the celebrities, brought back Austin as a GM for the night and everything, and Hammer Punk. They were like kind of going at it like a little bit in the backstage, like with the promo. But yeah, that was cool. But they need a permanent GM for each show. That and like do like a storyline character that is either fair or completely biased. That's what I think. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but that's something I would like. I want to watch somebody finally screw over John Cena, like, and keep doing it over and over again because he wins all the time. It's like we want to see this guy lose, then that way to build apathy for him. If he's always winning, how can we cheer for him? We're like, we don't want he's like the Yankees. We don't. I want to see him. I want to see AJ Styles win, but I want to see him win as a heel. And I think that would be the coolest thing in the Bullet Club. And then they'll finally bring up Finn Balor, and they'll have instead of the club, the Balor Club. Then they kick him with fire.
That would be a very interesting concept. I'm going to ask you something else about what do you think about Orton's return finally after so long?
Oh, man. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I mean, Randy Orton to me is like lackluster as a character in the ring. He's phenomenal. I hoped that this match would happen with him and Lesnar. And it's happening. I think they fought before one time, never a pay-per-view. But this is going to be huge. I can't wait. Can you imagine? Just think about this. Think about this for 1 second. Randy Orton getting put into the F5 and countering it to an RKO.
I believe it's possible. I mean, we've seen Orton counter just about everything else into an RKO. I mean, remember when he did the curb stomp into an RKO to Rollins at WrestleMania?
That was the best one I've ever seen. Counter like the man. Imagine him being spent on Brock's shoulders, and like just turning this to an RKO. That'll be one of the coolest. It has to happen. Man, you don't even know. Like, I can't wait for that match. I cannot wait.
I'm very excited for it as well, and I'm just glad Orton's finally going to be ready to get back into in-ring action because he's been out for, it seems like, over a year now. I don't really know exactly what was wrong with him. I know he did make a movie while he was out, but other than that, nobody really said a whole lot of why he was gone for so long. But I'm just glad he's going to finally be coming back.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I have no idea why he was gone, but I'm happy he's back. I really am. But on another note, as far as this match, now, how do you think it will play out? Because Brock Lesnar is going to be fighting in the UFC. How do they use Brock Lesnar, win or lose? I want your take.
Well, see, that's the thing is, however his fight goes at the at UFC, it's UFC 200, right? Or is it 201 that he's fighting at?
200.
UFC 200. However he does in his fight against you in the UFC 200, it's really gonna pour over into the WWE aspect of it. Just because if he wins, that's just gonna be one of the things that they're gonna be talking about on WWE going into this match against Orton.
Definitely. Now, what if he loses? Does it like tarnish the mystique of the beast, or how do they come back from this?
I believe if he loses, they will still continue to push Lesnar and try to amp him up. Maybe bring back the fact that we've heard 1,000,001 times over that he won against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That might be the way they try to bring him back and start amping him up some more, just because that seems to be their go-to thing with Lesnar anymore.
That's a good point. That could work. That could work. However, you got the crowd maybe chanting, you lost, that type of thing. And if they try to build him up as the beast again, then he has to go over on Randy Orton. Then you got Randy Orton coming back to a loss. I don't see it being a clean victory for either one of them. There's going to be some type of interference that it has to happen.
Yeah, and see, that's going to be one of the downfalls of the match, that if they do the interference either too early or not the right way, they're going to ruin a completely good match. And they've done it before. You can do interference in a match and still have a great match go on. It's just you can't do it too early, and it's got to be done the right way.
Completely agree. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting matchup. I am looking forward to watching it. I want to see how it plays out. I know it's going to be interference, but I don't know by who. I don't know if it's going to be like using a weapon, or I just don't know. But it's going to be good. I think Orton may actually force Brock to actually wrestle instead of throwing suplexes and things like that. I think it may, but I may be wrong. I mean, Rollins didn't get him to do it, but we'll find out.
Absolutely. What do you really think about Lesnar going back to UFC? Do you think it's a good move as far as all parties are considered?
Absolutely. It's good for both. Because if Brock wins at the UFC, it builds up Brock Lesnar as a beast for WWE. It builds business for UFC, which is actually competition for WWE, whether or not they want to admit it. You got the guy being on 2 shows, being an actual beast. And it's what he wants to do. He's energized, he's happy. I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Do you believe that maybe somehow UFC might somehow rig this fight to where, since they're doing this partnership with WWE now, so they're supporting SummerSlam, do you think UFC might do something to where they could pay off Mark Hunt to lose against Lesnar at UFC 200?
That's hilarious, because I thought I was the only one thinking that. I honestly think McMahon probably is going to give Mark Hunt a bag for the cash. I truly believe that. I don't know if the UFC has anything to gain or lose, what McMahon does. And I know McMahon will go into the bank account, the WWE, whatever they got to do to keep that draw on Brock Lesnar as a beast. So, however, I don't know, maybe Mark Hunt can't get bought. Maybe he can. But I know I don't. That, it's just funny that you mentioned that because I definitely thought that.
That I do find that very interesting, and I'm not really sure if Mark Hunt will accept it, but that's yet to be seen.
Yeah. And hey, maybe they don't need to. Maybe Brock is that good to actually just beat him on his own merit. The guy, like, he wasn't champion before. It's possible. Like, his stand-up game can't stand up with Mark Hunt. However, he's a better wrestler. And if you can get him to tap out and all that, then there you go. But I don't know. I know McMahon wouldn't be afraid to pay anybody off. I know that. His morals isn't really the highest.
Exactly. What do you really think about CM Punk finally getting a fight at UFC?
I'm happy that he finally is. And, do I think he's going to win? No. I don't think he should really do it. Well, no, I think he should do it just to get it out of his system. We've been waiting for, 2 years now. I don't think he's going to really prove anything other than to him. I would rather see him just come back and, to the WWE, even though I know that won't happen. Probably. I mean, it is WWE. Anything's possible. But I'm not sure. What do you think?
I'm excited to see him in the UFC. I've actually started watching more UFC since he came over there to kind of learn the different styles and learn the competition over there a little bit better and kind of get familiar with the UFC style since Punk's made the transfer, because I've been a Punk fan since day one, since he started wrestling, and I followed him over to UFC. I'm excited to see him get in the octagon for the first time, and I'm glad he's not really being cocky about it. He's saying quite simply, I'm either here to kick ass or get my ass kicked.
True. True.
And I'm glad he's not being cocky about it. That's the only thing I can really say about it.
Yeah, I don't think if he was cocky, that'd be a wise move. Just going in there with guys who want to knock your head off. So I don't know. I mean, I've been keeping track of it, and I hear a lot of guys saying that he's getting beat up in practice and in his training camps and things like that. And but I mean, you never know. I don't know. I haven't looked at his competition. I believe he's 2-0. So he only got 2 fights under his belt, too. But I'm going to watch. I mean, I at least watch the highlights, but I don't really see a big future from Punk in the UFC. I really don't. He's more of an entertainer. I would love to see him come back to just wrestling, be in WWE or independent or something.
Oh, I can almost guarantee, as far as right now is concerned, we won't see Punk in the WWE anytime soon. Independent, he's said that's still yet to be seen. CM Punk, he's wanting people to kind of doubt him a little bit, though. That's the reason why he made this move, is because he wants to prove everybody wrong that he can be in his late 30s and just pick up UFC out of nowhere and go in there and at least hang with the professionals for a little while. May not be long term, but just a little while. He wants to at least prove to himself and everybody else he can do it.
Yeah. I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best.
I hope he does a great job, and I'm excited to see that first fight.
Yeah, definitely. I hope he doesn't be knocked out or anything like that. I hope it's going to be competitive.
Exactly. What did you think about John Jones' suspension? I know we've talked about it a little bit, and you've brought up the interesting point before on how he's been tested for it, but Lesnar was never tested for anything in the UFC.
think he was. I was just learning. I think it was yesterday or this morning that Lesnar had the a 4-month, like I guess each athlete in UFC has to be tested 4 months prior, and Lesnar got exempt of it, so he could still be like having the results of being on steroids and all that, but they let it go. However, with John Jones, they didn't let it go. And I'm not sure how they can pick and choose. Like, it just don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't believe it's fair to single certain people out in competition like that. You can't let one guy pass it even though he might be part of a different company and you're sponsoring that company, whereas the company is the WWE and they're sponsoring WWE SummerSlam. And Lesnar's now a guest in the UFC from WWE, but he's also returning to UFC being a former employee. So I don't really see how they can single Lesnar out and say, well, you don't have to pass the tests, but the rest of our fighters do.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right to me. But I mean, when it's Brock Lesnar, he's been away from the octagon for 5 years, and you're trying to bring the biggest card ever to the UFC, it's like, you have to do it. You have to do it. But at the same time, like, your main event, John Jones, you're taking him out, I just wouldn't let him fight. I would have let Daniel Cormier, he wanted to sign like a waiver, but they said no. So, I don't know. Very sad.
Very sad indeed, and we still have yet to see if they're going to strip Jones of his championship or not. I believe they have the authority to do, and I feel like they would when they get the chance.
Oh, they will. They have to, because he's going to be gone for 2 years. They're banning him for 2 years. If everything comes out, he'll be banned for 2 years, and he wouldn't be able to hold the title for 2 years. They'll just strip him.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to wrap this up. I'm going to give everybody a match to watch, and I'm going to kind of ask you your opinion on this a little bit. The match to watch for the week, it's something new I'm going to do, is the CM Punk versus John Cena on Raw, February 25th of 2013. That's the match where the winner went on to face The Rock at WrestleMania. It's one of the few matches I've seen on Raw for probably the last decade that really pulled me in. I mean, I still consider it one of the best matches I've seen on Raw in the last decade. And it was just a straight back and forth match from what I can remember of it. And that's the match that Punk pulled out the infamous pile driver, which has been banned from.
Yeah. I remember that now. I was struggling to remember. Yeah, that was a good match.
I mean, I really believe that if you haven't checked the match out, go ahead and check it out. I'll go ahead and put a link down in the comment section after I put this live on SoundCloud, and leave a comment on that and let me know what you guys think about it, because I believe it's one of the best matches to be on Raw within the last decade, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I remember, it definitely was. Especially when he pulled the pile driver out, which has been banned since Stone Cold Steve Austin, all heart. So, yeah, I agree.
And I think that really says something about both parties that were involved in the match, as far as CM Punk and John Cena goes as competitors, just really one-upping each other the whole time in that match, countering each other's moves constantly, and pulling stuff out that's never been done in years because it's been banned. CM Punk, or John Cena, sorry. I think that's one of the few matches he used that springboard stunner, if I remember right. And he did a pretty good job at actually laying it in that time, which was rare for John Cena.
I didn't know he used the springboard stutter there. I thought he started using that like around WrestleMania 31, around that time.
I may be wrong, but if I remember right, I think that might have been the match he very first ever used it in, just because it was just that high quality of a match. I mean, they were both doing moves you'd never seen either one of them do before.
Yeah.
So I might be wrong on that, but I know Cena did a few moves that we've never seen John Cena do before, and it was just very entertaining from both parties.
Yeah, I gotta check that match out again.
And I respect Cena a lot for not saying anything to McMahon or anything on getting Punk removed from WWE or any suspensions or anything for pulling that pile driver out. I mean, we all know Cena could have pushed that really far if he wanted to.
Oh, definitely. But I think he agreed to it. In order for him to take it, he agreed to it because they got to put the match together before. Well, I don't know. They probably were calling it in the ring, so I don't know.
Probably. But anyway, that's all for this week on the C-Jack podcast. I want to thank you, Mac, for being a guest.
Thank you, man. It was a pleasure.
And I hope all you guys have a great week, and we will be right back here next week. Hope you enjoy your future endeavors, and I'm glad that you're enjoying your night, and thank you once again for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you, C-Jack. I really appreciate it. You're doing great things, man, and I look forward to more episodes from you.
Yep, no problem. All right, bye, man.
All right.
Once again, I want to thank Mac for being a guest on the C-Jack podcast. He really did add an extra element to this episode, and he's just a phenomenal guy to bounce ideas off of and just talk to. I mean, I enjoyed shooting the breeze with him, and it's just been a wonderful episode, I believe. I also want to thank you guys, the listeners, for tuning in every week and making this podcast grow, because that's the only way we can grow is by you, the listeners. And as long as everything seems to be going according to plan, Sunday, yes, this Sunday, will be the very first episode of the C-Jack podcast. It will be this episode you just listened to on YouTube. So Mac will be my first guest on the C-Jack podcast for YouTube. And go ahead and check out my channel. I will put it on my page. Once again, this is C-Jack. I will catch your ass later.